It has been 3 months since the launch of Cyberpunk 2077, and players have mostly either forgotten about the game, or have been wondering what on earth is going on. While core elements of the game were good at launch, including its central storyline and surprisingly coherent combat, the game was a patchwork release of technical issues and broken promises from past previews. Since then, the game has undergone a series of hotfixes and one major patch, 1.1, which inconveniently introduced a different game-breaking bug that had to be fixed later. But fundamentally, the game's performance, especially on consoles, has not received any truly major overhauls, and Sony still refuses to even sell Cyberpunk 2077 on the PlayStation Store for PS4 or PS5 due to the state it's in, which has customers asking for frequent refunds. CDPR had to delay what it calls its biggest patch to date until allegedly the end of this month after a recent hack crippled the studio. But there's been an ongoing debate about what all the silence and lack of substantial changes to the game means, which was taking place well before that. Is CDPR just willing to let Cyberpunk go and move on to other projects? Or are they just putting their head down and pulling a no man's sky, working hard, but silently, on features that will turn the public's perception of the game around? I think the answer lies somewhere in the middle. First of all, I don't think CDPR is abandoning Cyberpunk, either this game or the series as a whole. They have formatted the entire structure of the company to now support alternating games from The Witcher and Cyberpunk, and they're not going to just throw in the towel after this launch, especially since despite all the drama and problems, the game still sold extremely well. I have no doubt that CDPR plans to move ahead with plans to try to re-energize the game with the next-gen version coming later this year, and then paid, sizable DLC after that. I also have to believe they are going to keep moving forward with their grand multiplayer Cyberpunk project in an effort to replicate the monstrous success of GTA Online. There's just too much at stake here to walk away. That said, we're definitely not in a mirrored No Man's Sky situation either. Hello Games was a small, unknown studio with big dreams and bigger mouths, in the case of Sean Murray overpromising features before launch. But CDPR is different. They are massive and well established, and in this case, it feels like arrogance to lead them to this point, both in the overpromising, but also in the hand-waving they've done since launch. One thing I've repeatedly seen since launch is CDPR not truly apologizing for the state of the game at launch for many players, or if they did so, it was followed up with comments by higher-ups in the company saying things like, "Well, it sold well and got 9s and 10s on PC."